getting
already
familiar.
did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
familiar with the people, with the platform, things
With
of the such. You know.
everything of that nature. That
Yeah,
nature.
yeah. So man,
What been going on down there?
man, it's really been kind of like winter. The sun ain't shining much. It's pretty cold. I ain't good without the sunshine, but I'll be pushing. But it's been kind of quiet down here, you know, since the election's over.
Right,
Uh,
right.
I don't know what they got going on with that. You know, they talking about the problems, but ain't nobody came with no solutions.
No
At the
solutions
last,
at
we
all.
had the city council. They were saying the right stuff as far as what's wrong, but ain't nobody said what they gonna do about it. You know,
Right, right.
and I think that's a major issue, not just here, but all across the country. What we gonna do about it? Everybody's talking about what's wrong. It's solution time. I believe the Most High just created us to be a solution.
Absolutely.
It's no reason to be in a world like this. It's just a tore up world, a reject world. Why would people still be born into this world? It's got to be a solution. So
Right,
I
right.
believe we was created to solve a problem and get rewarded for it. You know what
Amen.
I'm saying?
Amen.
That's what I believe. That's what the gift for. Ain't nothing wrong with being the choir guy and the usher and all that stuff. But the real gift is our real gifts is what's needed. You know,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
we need them in day-to-day life, dealing one with another. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with other people and stuff. I've been meditating on what I'm saying, race relations, the gender perspectives, and all this different stuff. And I realized the main thing, man, we don't need to be hating each other. It's all right to be different. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's all right. It's not really somebody being different. They ain't my problem. You know, ain't my problem. Uh, we all can meet at the intersection of humanity. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the major plights is that's one of the major plights and one of the major things I'm trying to be on is just letting people be who they are. I ain't
Exactly.
even so much trying to understand people, but just allowing them to be who they are. And, I don't got a problem with nobody who ain't trying to trip me up. If I catch you
Right.
with your foot out there, I'm gonna jump on your ankle. And, it's just other than
It,
that, we
it's just
smooth
the way
sailing.
it is. Already,
Yeah,
already.
you know.
Man, you
But
seen what
yeah,
happened to the little lady in Mexico? Her little friends went down there with her.
yeah, man,
They
that's
wind
foolish,
up
man.
jumping on the girl
They went way to Mexico for that foolishness.
for their foolishness. They tell gonna get locked up in Mexico too. They should absolutely be locked up for that.
Yeah, they should. But man, my thing, they go back to what I'm talking about, man. This a major issue though. I mean, it's this we hate each other. Why we hate each other? You,
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Man, it's like, man, I say,
it's
man,
still in us.
black folks hate each other. It's got to be a major spirit operating to,
Right,
to have
right.
black
Like,
folks hating each
yeah,
other like this. I ain't talking about hating on. I'm talking about hating. It's hating
right.
on. That's not hate. To hate on somebody, I ain't saying it's right, but that's not dangerous. But hate, you know what I'm saying? Hate, man, people taking action on that, and man, we love to take action against one another. I just had that
Right.
conversation with somebody, man. Why we can't disagree and don't kill each other at the end of the day? You know, you know.
Yeah,
They
it
would
is
say,
a program to be in. I agree,
yeah,
bro. It's the program that actually got us that way. Actually, you also, like I say, man, this is sad thing to see that happen. Amongst our people, so forth and so on.
yeah,
Man, very sad. And also, I've been discussing foster kids and foster parents this week. It's been a few bad incidents with the foster kids. One of these little foster kids they arrested, and I believe that Tiffany girl is from Beaumont somewhere. If I'm not mistaken, I could be possibly wrong, but she looked very familiar, as
yeah,
though she from our neck of the woods. But anyway, they had had adopted this child who was a foster kid, and then they wind up giving full custody of him, and instead of returning him, they started abusing him, and things of that nature behind some oatmeal cream pies and snacks and things of that
Foolishness.
nature. And then they had another one I covered tonight. That's the one I was actually doing when you had hit me, bro. I was like, well, this was a little girl out of San Diego, and she was in the foster care system, but her mother actually, was trying to
Yeah.
do everything she can do to get her children back, and the court seemed her an unfit parent because she was not didn't have the type of resume that they expected for her to have. Then she had some bipolar issues and a domestic altercation that she had with the father of the children. So it was actually a bad situation for her. But it's crazy how the state can actually take the kids and put them with some people who they perceive to be better parents. I
And they
mean, and
probably way more dangerous.
exactly, and God didn't bless them with the children themselves. God gave the mother to her that she was supposed to have, and then the judge take these kids and then they get abused. That's a sad thing to me, and it was something that I've been covering this weekend. I had also covered one about they was trying to sex traffic these girls in Houston down here, and they actually had these little girls 13, 14 years old in the hotel rooms instead of some actual dorms somewhere, and they was soliciting them girls at the same time, and that was very sad to me, man. The CPS, man, is going wild,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Man, people got some evil hearts,
Yeah,
you know.
very,
And
very evil.
people tend to not just they don't have compassion and empathy and things of such. Man, you know where we come from, and we was pretty raw, but we had some limits, man. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I say, man, I see some of this stuff, and I'm sure I was one of the worst people running the street when I was in the street. But man, I can't get out there. Like I couldn't imagine some of this stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No
And
compassion at all. You
you
know.
know, one of the things I said, man, coming up, I think I had the right idea, just the wrong vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
You did say the right idea, the
Yeah,
wrong
you can't be riding around picking people up in a Pinto.
already,
You can't help nobody in a Pinto.
already had to get
And
up
I
there,
had a
man.
Pinto. I needed a bus, but I had a Pinto.
Already.
And trying to make the most out of the Pinto. You know, but man, you just look at the depravity and all that in the world, man, and it's almost disheartening. It's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
disheartening. You know, but then you got people like us, man. We don't know nothing but fighting, so we gonna keep fighting anyway. You know, I seen one of the comments. Jew Bean was saying that the lack of fathers.
Right, right. Absolutely.
Um,
I missed it.
yeah, and I believe it's by design, but we 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 just gonna have to be that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to
Absolutely.
be that. I know when I was about 13 or 14, I was like a father to some grown men. I was 14 and dudes was pulling up in their cars asking me, what we gonna do today? You know what I'm
Already.
saying? I'm like, I'm 14, man. How I know what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But,
Oh,
you
been
know,
through something.
I still went in and called the shot. You know what I'm
Already.
saying? Yeah,
Already.
let's go to the store because I don't know that I'm 14. You know what
Already.
I'm saying?
Well,
Like I know
right.
where we going out. Yeah, I got my brother ID to get in the club. I'm 15. But I don't know nothing. But at the same time, it's some stuff we've been through. I think that qualify us, man. You know what I'm saying? To step up, to share some truth. I mean, how you raise disinterested individuals, how you get their attention. You know what I'm saying? I think we just gotta, man, put out positive images. Um, Sometimes we gotta check some of the fallacies. Some of the stuff we say. I listened to this preacher guy, and he was on point, but the way he was coming basically was just condemning all the young black men. You know what I'm saying? You
Right,
you
right.
can't come like that. Uh, You know,
Right, just casting them the hell
yeah,
to the
yeah,
hellfire and just giving up on them. That's not the
right.
answer.
That's not the answer. And I believe if you ain't doing that, you don't have the right to complain either. You
That's
know,
right.
but I don't even think complaining getting nothing done. But we got to have conversations, man. We got to have conversations amongst us, whoever we supposed to be, G's, OGs, old heads that been out here, whatever. We had to have conversations amongst one another. We had to build that camaraderie, and that'll set an example. You know, and I believe setting an example, kind of like King and Malcolm. Them was they ain't believe they was gonna see change in their lifetime, but they believe that the seeds they plant gonna eventually grow into something. And
Exactly.
and that's another thing, man. We kind of didn't take the torch. Uh, we kind of got veered off into something else. And I believe that's probably by design too. Well, basically, kind of like the rap game, it got hijacked, and because we don't control the media, so hip hop got hijacked and
Right,
turned
right.
into a vehicle for destruction. You know,
Absolutely.
and I played a part in that too. You know, and
That's right,
so
Javin.
yeah, we got to be examples, man. I know it's rough. We got every excuse not to try. I ain't gonna lie. We got baby mama drama. When I read the Bible, Messiah, he ain't had 3 baby mamas, and he had them issues
Yeah,
like
so
that.
forth, so on. Right, right.
So, even in that, it's kind of hard to just find a way to navigate. Sometimes it's hard to to find the information to move on to remedy some of this. And so I think a lot of the time, man, we really out here the same way without good information, still making decisions. Without information that been vetted, we really still experimenting when it comes to relationships, marriage, and all these things. A lot of things though, and that's another thing. I call it the awakening. During this awakening, a lot of things that is being debunked, and what's being presented is not the truth. You know, and
That's
so
right.
that's another thing that these young people dealing with. A lot of stuff that we took for granted, we found out now it ain't even true. And some of us telling the truth, but we came in on some other stuff, on some falsehoods and some trickery. And so we want them to come in, but all they see is that it was a trick, you know. And
Right.
they saw so far removed from our parents. You think about this generation when you talk about their grandparents and their great grandparents, which is our parents and grandparents. The disconnect is so far, you know, and so that's another thing, trying to bridge that gap, man. Get some continuity. I know, man, history is good, but we don't even have immediate history. You
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? We definitely not connected on the ancient side, but we disconnected in the immediate, man. I had a young guy, man. He's out, just out in the streets, and he was basically blowing hard. He was ready to do everything he could do. And I was like, say, man, hold up, let me. I say, man, I know your daddy. Shoot, he told me, man, it's my daddy. So
Right,
right
right.
there, I was like, if he feel like that about his daddy, ain't no
Right,
need
right.
to tell him nothing else. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I could do is kill him or get killed, it seemed like. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Right, right.
okay, young brother. But I see that's a major disconnect because we don't even have continuity from one generation to the next. I ain't talking about 10 generations ago. I'm talking about between fathers and sons, just like they're saying. Just it's such a disconnect. And and like I said, it's just a bunch of these issues. There's so many issues. We say, man, which one do we tackle? Which one do we get on? And every time you start digging on one, it leads to another, and another, and another. It's a maze,
Right.
you
It
know.
just keep on going like a domino
Yeah,
effect.
right. We need laborers, man, because that's why we need more laborers, man, to really get in the harvest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about going die and go and live in the sky. I'm talking about for
Right,
right
right.
now life. For right now life, man. We need some answers for right now life. The world always been cold, but it's so much access to each other. We got too much access one to even like this. This a cool platform, but the same way we gonna come on here, we gonna have these conversations. It's probably got 1,000 other conversations that we don't even need to have going on right now.
Right,
You,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
At
It's
the
a
same
thousand other
time,
conversations.
That's
Yeah,
different. You know,
they
that's
walking them down, and they got ops, and you ain't even old enough to have an op. You know,
right, right. To
and
to really
they invent
understand what
ops.
ops is.
Yeah, they checking in. They gonna check in. You can't even leave out your neighborhood. You don't have to check in no other city. You
Yeah,
know you
straight
can't
up.
been nowhere. You ain't even nobody. You
Right,
know,
right.
had to tell the young dude. He thought the feds was watching him. He said Nick sacks. I say, brother, the feds not watching you, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Every
It was
role
another
model
one
is
too.
basically, yeah, every role model. I just seen somebody, the thing is what rapper got killed. That's the new heroes, guards, and role models now. And they
Right.
just kids. These guys kids, man. You know, it ain't no different. I'm saying when I was 14, grown men asking me what we gonna do. You got guys who 18, 17. You got guys who 20, been locked up. They were locked up 6 years. They don't know that.
Yeah,
They
this a
20.
whole new generation, man.
Yeah,
Like
they
I seen
20 and people looking up to them to have answers. You know, you can't have the answers at 20 and you've been locked up 6 years. You know,
right.
you miss
You
so
still a
much real
baby.
life. Yeah, you miss real life. You can rap good because I used to rap because I used to be locked up a lot. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I used to write a lot of raps and a lot of poems and stories and all that because I ain't had nothing but time. You know what I'm saying? But it was things I had to learn about everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Everyday life. That a lot of that stuff, man, like I said, it needed to come to the forefront so we can start having these conversations. Hey, how you doing? I see somebody saying hello. Uh,
Mhm.
people chiming in. That's good too, man. But it's work to be done, man. I'm 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 all in, me.
Yeah, man, we're
I'm
gonna get
all
it going.
in.
We're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, every which way we can, man. Like I say, this good conversation, man. Have people come on, just have a civilized conversation. I know me and you, we go way back, but even moving forward, man, as we have more and more conversation with different people from different situations, different circumstances, and
Yeah, yeah.
starting to get to the bottom of things. You know,
Already.
and because it ain't just. I'm having trouble with my son. You know what I'm saying? I got issues with my son, and stuff like that. As much as I want to reach all the youngsters, it's a disconnect right there. You know,
Right, right, right. Well, I understand my nephew, man. So, hey, man,
you know,
I had the same issue with mine. He about to go
yeah,
to court. He facing a murder. So he back locked up. He's from as far as I know, he go to court in February. So that's
yeah,
another thing. That bothers me also because the more I tried to do the right thing, it was too late to really tell him something. He ain't want to hear nothing. He wanted his old daddy back. He wanted me to
yeah,
teach him
right, yeah,
that I had no desire to teach him,
yeah,
that would have possibly hindered him even more, So,
yeah.
man, that's something we're
Expedited jail or death.
trying to deal with, looking at us in a new light, seeing us actually change from the people we actually used to be. And that's
Yeah,
kind of hard for him to actually understand. I don't know
yeah. Seeing you as borderline weak. You,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
So then he was one he felt like, well, if I can do everything different and get on a different team, and then do it better, then
Yeah,
you have a better outcome. But it didn't turn out like that at all, man.
right,
So
right, man. You know what I'm saying? It's rough. I got a bunch of boys too, and I try to tell them, man, talk to your oldest brother. Because he experienced a lot of stuff,
right,
uh,
right.
and he finally got his head on, straight. But he went through a lot. But surviving ain't the best route. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
definitely not. It's definitely
The
not.
best route is to take somebody else's word for it.
Right, right.
Surviving is cool, but it's just not the best route. It's just not the best route. And so that's my son on some time like that. He feel like he want to bang, but he got anger. Because we got separation. Because it's separation in the household. Once me and the mother separate, that brings separation. He might feel like he got to pick, but I ain't gonna
Right,
make him pick. But by not making him pick, I'm almost absent. You know, right? Exactly. School of Hard Knocks is not the best route.
it's
You know,
definitely not. You know, it's nothing that we never want to be involved in. You know, it was just something we was born in and
yeah,
actually manifested. You know,
right,
into our lives, and you know, it wasn't the best route or the perfect route, but you know, I wouldn't change nothing because it actually taught me a lot. You know, man, ain't no telling where I would actually be had I not gone through the things that I actually been through. So I'm thankful for those times and all things that I had actually learned, you know, and you know, I want to be able to share that with people so that they can learn from the mistakes that I actually made, you know, and I can
yeah.
actually tell them,
That's
man,
what it's
don't go
about,
down
man.
that way.
Coming back and
And,
saying it got sharks in the water.
yeah,
You know
it's
what
got a
I'm saying? It's got
whole bunch of stuff
sharks,
out there, man, that we don't
barracudas,
see.
and couple of fish and animals you ain't never heard of in the
Yeah,
waters. You know
they ain't
what
never
I'm
even seen yet, man. The monsters, man, they out
saying?
there.
Yeah, exactly.
And man, I'm seeing
It's
the night of 'em, man. So
yeah,
you know, I just
you
want to
know,
be able to share that with other people. So
yeah, man.
man, you know, they can be better than I
Right,
actually
right.
was, and that's what I always wanted for them. You know, especially my son. You know, like I say, I have to find that way to bridge that gap also because it is a big gap, a disconnect. You know,
Got to
not
make
just
an effort though,
time
man.
and the lifestyle. You know, but you know, like I say, moving forward. I have to be able to understand some things and forgive some things, and like I say, just try to understand and
Yeah,
be there the best I can, man.
yeah. Use wisdom and not your emotion. You gotta use wisdom and information and not your emotions. You know,
Okay.
it's because most of the time we dealing with young men who are emotional because they've been raised by women. There ain't no knock on women. I appreciate women for taking care of our sons and everything. But women are emotional, more emotional
Right,
than
right.
men.
And it made them
And
emotional.
right, they make decisions based on their feelings.
Hmm.
Even if I see sons all the time. Um, they run into their mothers now for the information they should be getting from their pops. You
Right.
know,
Instead of asking us, they
you
asking
know,
their mama the
and
question that they
I,
should
I
actually ask us.
right, and I even had an issue in my house. Like, won't you just don't answer them? Because you're not gonna be able to answer them right. So why don't
Right,
you just tell them go ask him? You ain't got
right,
to say
right.
my name. I'll be him.
Yeah, just
But
be him.
but yeah,
Yeah,
go
you
ask
know
him.
that kind of bother. You know I've been in that situation, and that actually bothers. You know, it bothers me for my son to ask my wife something that he should actually ask me. You know, I don't really say nothing about it like I should or take his head off because I want him to learn and see what he got to say, and then I'm pretty sure that later on he'll ask me as though some of the things they may be actually afraid to ask, because
Yeah,
they don't know how I'm gonna react or know how what I would actually say,
yeah. My sons say they scared of me. That bothers me.
yeah, and
They
that's
say they're
something
afraid
that
of me.
we don't want. We
Yeah.
don't want nothing like that. So
I got another young man. I took him under my wing like a little brother. But his son told him the same thing. He said, "Man, why you don't talk? Why you don't ask me the stuff you asking your mama? You scared of me or something?" He told him, "Yeah." I mean, I say, yeah,
yeah,
and I was like,
that's what we that. We
it's,
agree with that.
yeah,
Definitely.
that's like a setup.
Yeah.
It's like a setup, and whatever the reasons
That's
are
right,
is
Carl.
really irrelevant to the fact that we got to find a way to be involved in these kids' life. We got to make the sacrifice, the efforts. I mean, we got to do whatever. But we got to. They don't stand a chance without us, man. It's so much against them, especially our sons. You know what I'm saying? The 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 the, the cream of the crop.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
exactly. But these man, this younger generation, they don't have the same respect for their elders as
No,
we did
they
coming
don't.
up, though. You know, that's another big
that's
gap
that's the tough
issue.
part.
You know,
That's the tough part. But hey, look, this is the only thing I say.
Yeah, it does,
I
Carl.
it's for this very reason they don't have respect for men. They respect the older women. They don't respect young women. They respect the older women because they remind them of their mothers. They don't respect their father because in their mind, the narrative is we all ran out on them. You know, we got different reasons why we wasn't there. You know, we got different reasons why we ain't in the house with them. You know, whatever they are. You know, but they got one idea, one side of the story, and
Right,
so
right.
a lot of the respect is that. See, this the other part. They don't respect us much, and we don't respect them much. But we want them. They want us to earn respect. We want them to earn respect. But this is what I know about respect. Respect can't be earned. It got to be given.
Exactly.
Respect is on the same level with love and trust. You got to give it. You can't earn it. You can't earn
Give
nobody's
it
trust.
first. Right.
Yeah, it's got to be just given. And so, you know, I even speak to these young guys and stuff in a certain way, a certain fashion. You know, I say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, to young
Well,
people,
that's the way we
and,
was
and, and,
raised, you know.
and I'm talking about to even to young people. I just go ahead and respect them on that level too. You know what I'm saying? I don't call young men boy. You know,
Right,
I,
right.
I try my best to always respect them in my conversations. You know, just to just try to maybe they'll catch on.
Right, right.
Maybe they'll catch on. You know, just every little I try to take every little thing I can do in order to just kind of give them a little piece. You know, give them a little piece. It's like, man, think about a wild animal. If you ran into a wild animal that was hurt, right?
Hmm.
And this animal was hurt. You see the animal hungry, but you can't just walk up and feed that animal. You got to put a little bit of food down, right? And
Right,
just go on
right.
about your business. And when you come back, you put a little food down and go. Every time you come back, you see the food not there. Eventually, after I don't know how many times, but eventually they gonna come out and meet you, and eventually they'll be ready to eat out of your hand. But a lot of people want to feed these young people out of their hand off the bat. These are wounded animals. They hurt. They lost. You know what I'm saying? They've been tricked with white Jesus. They've been tricked with now to be a man is a toxic. You got the toxic masculinity. Um
Yeah,
being
so
a
many
black
different
being
things.
yeah,
You got
be,
so many different one
right.
man, you know.
Be,
Yeah, it
being
can
a
be
being a black man is a it's a task, man. You know what I'm saying? And to teach a young black man how to be a black man, it looked like you setting them up for failure. You know, it looked like you setting them up for failure because so many things is said against him. And I was just talking today, man, with somebody. I say when you look around at TV and everything that's going on, basically they didn't threw the black man to the curb.
exactly.
Totally. Every new
Because you have
hero is a woman.
oh
Every new
wow.
hero is a woman, a lesbian, a homosexual, but ain't got no just I don't got nothing against women, homosexuals, lesbians. I don't got nothing against none of the people. But the only people who not being represented are black men. Is what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Everything,
Well,
you know.
unless you rich, you know, and that's what they respect,
But
you know, the
but
standard.
but see, that's what I'm saying. They rich, but they don't really represent black manhood. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
A rich person is don't have grassroots. They out of touch with the grassroots movement. You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying? Most of the because you look at it again. This is a young man who came up with nothing. His mom was struggling. Daddy was in jail or dead. Mama might have been on dope. When they get a little money, they got to get out of that. They getting away.
right.
You can't really
Far,
blame
far
them.
away.
Yeah, but they out of touch with it because the way they seen it, as it's kind of like when AIDS came out. The way it was seen, anybody with it, man, nobody tried to help them. Nobody tried to empathize with them or care. They're just some nasty people who need to be cast off. And that's kind of what being a black man is. It's just a nasty person who need to be cast off. And so
Right.
to try to raise them to be that, or trying to teach them to be that, it seemed crazy. You know,
Right. It's
it
something
seemed
they don't
right,
want to be themselves.
right, right.
Or
They
be confused about being, you know, once you don't love yourself, it ain't no telling what you will do.
Right, that part. And that's why it's easy for them to just kill each other and all that. Man, as raw as we were in the street, it was easy to let dudes make it. I used to like letting dudes make it. I mean,
Mm.
catch them all the way slipping
Right,
and
and
then
then
let them
be
make it.
laughing at them and stuff.
Yeah, let them know, hey, you owe me. You know what I'm saying?
Already.
Now, half slipping, they going to get got, but all the way slipping, you got them all the way dead to the wrong. I just used to like to let them make it. Like, man, your whole life was in my hand, you know? And I had a dude come to me, man. He say, man, I appreciate you for letting me make it. You know, that was worth more than anybody who ever so called was afraid of me. All the fake respect. The guy say, man, what I appreciate the most about you is you let me make it. And I say, you know what? I specialize in letting make it. You know, I specialize in letting make it because the Most High let me make it. You know what I'm saying?
Already.
The Most High let me make it.
He sure
You know,
did.
that's my greatest prayer, man, to let somebody make it. You know, that's why I was saying earlier, you know, I'm good with it. Whoever, just don't let me catch you with your foot trying to trip me because I'm going to jump on your ankle. Because I ain't going to try
Already.
to trip nobody, you know, you
Already.
know. And so, man, like I say, we got to find a way to be their heroes again. I'm talking about, you know, we not really regular everyday guys, but we today's everyday black man. You know what I'm saying?
Already, man.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't really, do all the stuff the right way or whatever. But we got to just find a way to celebrate black excellence again. We got to, as much as we can come on here, man, and share things. We got to share some good news too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We got to share some births, some graduations. So just crack a joke sometime. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? And that's gonna really, I believe that's the stuff that make a difference, man. Because it make a difference in my life. You know.
Always.
So man, like I said, I'm up for the task, man. I appreciate this opportunity, man, to come on here and rap with you. You know what I'm
Already,
saying?
bro. Like I said, we're gonna do this, man. Man, we on. We
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah, we on, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited, you know. So,
Already.
but I'm gonna tap out tonight. And
Already, man.
we'll
Finna
get on
tap out
again,
too, man.
man. I appreciate you, bro. I love you, man.
I
Shalom.
love you. I love you
Uh,
too, bro.
Everybody
Shalom.
who out there, man. Shalom to y'all, man. Peace and blessings on y'all.
Peace.
All right, brothers.
On our first Christ gang. See you, bro.
All right.
All right, later.
I don't know how to get off.
Me neither. We'll figure it out. They say stop. I don't know how to stop. They say I like, thank you. I guess we just stop, bro. You stop.